Hi everyone. My name is Brandy Close, and I wanted to welcome each of you to 5103 Advanced Computer Applications. I wanted to make a quick video. I know that it's last minute. The term started, and we're getting moving in this first week. But I wanted to make a quick video addressing some of the questions I'm getting through email, and just do some other house cleaning business real quick, and hopefully it'll address any other questions you might have that are arising throughout the week. This course, it's very fast paced. It's 8 weeks, as you're aware. It's very project oriented, lots of projects, but hopefully they are going to be useful projects. For those of you that are new to technology or are not very familiar with a lot of the different things that we're going to be doing, it's going to be a good, challenging course for you. For those of you that are familiar with using a lot of educational technology, we will make it challenging in the sense that hopefully we will be presenting some tools that you haven't used yet. And I encourage you, when there are choices to be made in the different modules, then there are choices to be made about what tool to use. Try and challenge yourself to choose a tool that you have not used yet to create and work with that week. One thing that I think is very important to keep in mind throughout this course is, because it is project-based and we are sort of generating opportunities for you to not only learn different aspects of computer applications of technology in the classroom, but also giving you a chance to work with some different things. Try your best to utilize this course to create things that relate to what you are currently doing. Try to keep it within the context of what you're doing. That way it's more useful to you and meaningful in the end. I am an instructional designer at the OSU's Osteopathic Medical School in Tulsa, and I'm finishing up my PhD there at OSU Stillwater. So I have had, I speak from experience about how useful it is to take each course and take each project that you're presented with and try to make it useful to what you do, whether you are already an instructor in higher ed, whether you're also an instructional designer, whether you're a K-12 teacher, or whatever it is that you do. Try and make everything relate to what you, in your real world context for you. It will be a much more useful project. I posted a video earlier today in the news items for a short review of D2L. And D2L, if you aren't familiar with it, or if you were familiar with the older version, there was an update that was done over the summer. And it looks very different. The operations are still the same. The capabilities are still the same. It just, finding your way around it can be frustrating if you're just getting back into it. So there's a short little video that Dr. Kimes created, and I stole it from her, essentially, and utilized it because it was really good. And so those of you that are new to D2L, take a look at that for sure. And then, of course, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to email me any questions you might have. Because of the changes and the updates that took place for the new version of D2L, there is an assignment that has been sort of standard in this course, and it's creating your homepage, personalizing that homepage. And it was really just a way for each of us to sort of get to know you and get to know who you are and what you do and where you're at, what program you're involved in and where you're at in your program and things like that, what your interests are. So it's not completely, it's not gone away completely in the sense that you can't edit your profile page. It's just you can't do as much with it. So we're gonna change that assignment. And what I've created is a place in the introductory discussion board thread. I added a thread earlier today, and it's called Who Are You? And basically, and it has instructions. So if you'll just make sure you post within that this week, and basically tell us about who you are, what your interests are, what you're studying, where you are out in the program, what you do, and what you're wanting out of this course, or just anything about yourself. Let us get to know you, because what's really neat is you guys are all in the same boat. We are all in the same boat, and so I can't tell you how many connections and resources I have discovered and made in my program just from the introduction section of the course, where somebody introduces themselves through a video or through a discussion board and things like that, because I find out that we have similar interests, or we're in the same place in the program, or we do the same things for our careers, and we're working towards the same thing. So that's important. So make sure you post on that. Some other things. Okay. Right now, I've had a couple of questions about not quite understanding exactly what's expected this week from the modules and how it's worded and the discussion board. So here's how it's going to work. Right now, what's posted in the discussion board are items that belong with the particular module, and it's basically set up as a reflection for that technology cycle that each module is going to take you through. And it's basically set up so that you can tell us about what you have learned from this module, reflect on that technology cycle, and how it's got you thinking about how you're going to apply these things to your current situation, or your classroom or whatever. So what you don't see, and what's going to be there shortly, are discussion threads that you will be required to post on regarding your textbook. Now, the textbook is sort of a dry textbook, but the author, Jonathan, amazing. My dissertation, I am utilizing him incessantly in my dissertation. Brilliant man. So it's got so much good information in it. And at the end of each chapter, there are questions. And so each week, I will be providing some kind of a prompt related to your textbook, which will be separate from your reflection for the technology cycle activities that you'll be doing for each module. And you will be asked to either choose a number of questions to address from the end of that chapter, or I will provide you with the specific questions from the chapter that I want you to answer. Okay, so you will always have a prompt there of what you're supposed to do for that textbook. Now, it will vary from week to week. So some weeks I may say, hey, pick 2 questions. Another week I'll say, hey, I want you to answer these 2 questions. Also, everything is going to be done on a week-to-week basis. Everything will open up at 6 a.m. on Monday morning for that week. Now, some weeks will have more modules than others. There's more modules than there are weeks for this course. And really, basically, if you have 2 modules due this week, which you do, modules 1 and 2 are up, and both of those need to be done this week. It's because one module is really light on what's expected, so we can put 2 modules together. So for week 1, you'll need to address both modules 1 and 2, just so, and I'll make sure that that's clear for each week, which modules need to be done for that week. Also, your initial posts need to be done by Thursday of each week by midnight. And you need to stay true to those deadlines, because a lot of discussions are going to be held on a pass-fail basis. You either meet the deadline or you don't. And then if there are responses required, and not every week will have you responding to one another. I mean, you can, even if I require it or not. But if some weeks I will require you to respond to 2 of your classmates. It just depends on the content that week. And if that is the case, if there are responses due that week to your classmates, then that will need to be done by Sunday night of that week. So original posts will always be due Thursday night by midnight. And any responses that are required that week to your classmates on the discussion board will be due by Sunday night of every week at midnight. And again, those are both original posts and responding posts pass and fail. You either do it or you don't. You either make the deadline or you don't. Now, you can always go back and revisit those discussion boards. If you feel like something was discussed that you wanted to keep a discussion going over several weeks, the discussions don't close. So please feel free to keep a conversation going if there's people that want to keep going with that. But just make sure you get your original deadlines done. I'm looking at my list, and I think that I have covered everything I want to cover for just sort of a basic, here's how the course is going to go. Make sure, I'm going to give everybody, a few days to get that textbook ordered and get it and get chapters 1 and 2 read. This week I am not going to require a whole lot with the text because I know some people are still trying to actually acquire a text. But anytime you have any questions or concerns regarding, the course or anything else that you think maybe I can answer, I will just email me. And of course, I'll answer your question. If I don't know the answer, I will contact who I need to contact to find it, or I will, send you the information of who you can contact to get the information. But I'm excited about this course because it is a fun course. It's a fast course. There's some neat things that we're going to do. We're going to build wikis, and we're going to keep the wikis updated, and that's a neat thing. And there's just some neat projects that are going to happen. So I believe that is it. And so I will leave you with that information. And so if anything that I talked about is still unclear, don't hesitate to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I get a chance. And so I wish everybody a wonderful 8 weeks, and we'll see you online.